What's up, guys? Brandon Joshua here. Me and the staff out here in Virginia Beach on the water. I'm using a huge tablet, and I'm not even going to take the chance of taking this out into the river because I think this looks new. I think my mother might have got this for her something, Mother's Day. I don't know. This is newer. But anyway, guess what? Remember how the phone's gone? Let's get to the point, Brandon Joshua. Get to the point. Android Galaxy 10 phone went in the river yesterday. I almost drowned. Actually, no, I shouldn't joke like that. I didn't. By the grace, I told you, God keeps me safe, but I did get dunked. I met two Russians yesterday. Women at that, a mother and daughter, and we went for a swim in the canoe. Yep, sure did. Somehow, though, my very nice Bible I've had for a very long time, yeah, I took that out in the water because I felt confident, and guess what? It survived. You didn't expect me to say that, did you? It survived. Can you believe that? Usually in the past I would have been very mad that a $600 phone got destroyed again for the second time since Christmas. But I have insurance on it, so it only costs $10.50 to replace it. Thank goodness. Because I'm not going to thank God for that, because God doesn't control the material things like that. Satan does. So I'm not going to thank God for that. I'm going to thank goodness. Because just using our brains that we had, I thank God for keeping me safe and the fact I didn't drown when I fell, and man, it was crazy. So on Christmas Day, I got a Galaxy Android 10 phone, the first one. Okay? That was great. I drop my phones all the time. That's why my old iPhone had an OtterBox cover. This third phone, I'm going to have to get a case for it, like ASAP. And I need, excuse me, if there's any, like, you know, I'm not, I grew up racing, guys, so I'm used to it. I'm used to the sponsorship type thing. I've ran a business for 10 years. I understand how the world works. You know what I'm saying? I'm up here every day doing this out the kindness of my heart. I'm not getting paid to do it. Eventually, I might set something up like where if people want to send donations, they can. But because, you know, I could use it, honestly. But I'm not going to ask for it. Only thing I'm going to ask is that you like and subscribe so that I know. So that I know that my videos are being viewed. You're appreciating them. If you don't like something, but don't just give me a dislike because you missed like one little thing I say and all the rest of it you loved. If that's the case, anybody that sends me straight like hate, cuss words, every other word is just filth, I'm not even going to read that and put that into my mind or into my temple. I'm just going to go delete because I don't want no negativity on there. Okay, like that. Now, if you have positive like criticism or something's up, feel free to leave that down there. And you know, because that we all live and learn from each other, guys. And that's what it's all about. Let me try to get this in the background. We all live and learn from each other, guys. And I'm, like I said, I will always leave videos up. And then, man, you can't really see me now. I'll always leave videos up. And I don't know what time. I don't know what time it is. It's like 6 something in the morning. It's Saturday, May 23rd, 2020. I woke up to this beautiful river. I've come out. Let me show you. My new phone, they overnight it. The last one got here in 2 days. It came in 2 days. I'm sleeping like back up in there in a mini house that walks straight out to the little stage, right? That we're gonna be that maybe we could hold a Sunday service on at some point, right? And in certain events. But once a week, I'd like to do a Bible study out here in the chairs, like I was talking about. And then eventually, at some point, I would love at some point in the future. I would love, and keep in mind on this old shirt I'm wearing from 2006, this was the Winterfest shirt I found. I still had it. This was, read what it says, reverse reality. And it's kind of odd how it's reversed on the camera too, right? Reverse reality. This was that event that I met the TD Snakes at. Just to kind of sum that up, to finish all of that up. I met you at this event, Mr. TD Snakes. If you couldn't remember who this face was, Brandon Joshua, it was in 2005. Well, this here is switched to 2006. That's why it's 2000 Winter Jam, Reverse Reality. It was Winter Jam 2006 because it had just switched over to January. And it was either January or February. Sadly, it's on the back of the shirt and I can't read it. But it's got, I know you can't see this, but it's got all the dates and stuff on the back of the shirt, just so y'all can kind of get an idea. I know you can't see it. I'm just letting you get a glimpse of seeing, like, there's a whole list of all the tour date. And that was in Ocean City, Maryland, where we were at there. But I'm not getting all into that. I'm just saying I wore this shirt because of what it says. The top half, reverse reality. And that's what this whole world is about, guys. A lot of everything you see in this world right now, you literally have the machine trying to take over. You have computers watching us everywhere, guys. They're trying to take away our ability to wake up and be human beings, to wake up and be angelic, spiritual guides here that serve the kingdom of Yah, as myself. And I have to speak this way now because we're in these times, guys. I've never spoke like this in my life. I'm not some arrogant, cocky dude thinks I'm all this. I say I'm a nobody serving the kingdom of... My mom hates it when I say that, just because we're humble, guys. We're all humble, but she just hates it, some other, because she sees I'm trying to do good in this world, and she sees all the hate and negativity that constantly come towards people like us, and she just sees how strong I am and how I don't let it faze me. And towards the end, unfortunately, things started to get to me because I was hashing things out within internal source. You know, you're always going to have different things going on within your families, guys. And I'm just walking through the yard right now because I want to show y'all different things here. But yeah, so anyway, my mom, you just always go through life, and as far as your family, God told me back when I was saved, I'm just showing y'all the background as I walk. Remember, reverse reality, think about things going on in the world and how things are opposite of what they tell you. You know, like you see these snakes, for example, he's up there telling you all these things, but is literally on the side of his emblem for the people like me that can see. This is how, okay, let me just finish. Let me just say one thing, because I'm using that as an example. Just use him as an example how mighty men of God can fall. I'll show you different things as I go. How mighty men of God can fall, okay? And also, when he's talking up there, he's speaking straight up. And keep in mind, he had nobody in his church because of what's going on with COVID. And keep in mind, our body has 380 trillion viruses in our body. So God, our creator, Yahweh, our celestial Father above, designed us to self-heal. You have to bring yourself back to the beginning, guys. To the beginning. You have to bring yourself back to the beginning. I carry a staff every day because my God gave this to me, literally. It appeared in front of me in a video. That's why I'm going to start recording and documenting a lot I do in my life, because God wants me to let the world see. I'm a humble servant. All glory. I'm a humble servant of the kingdom of Yahweh. I work for the kingdom directly. I've sold everything out. I went from making all that money, $19,000 a month, $33,000 a month, all through my 20s, having nice things. I let all that go, cut all that out. Satan also got in my life at that time, got me sniffing a little cocaine, little dope up my nose, whilst making all that, being successful. On the outside looking in, nobody knew. Everybody just thought I was just doing good for myself. I had a lot of people in the beginning tell me I couldn't do it. Laughed in my face, so-called friends. Oh, well, you're going to start your own business, man. You ain't going to be able to do that. You can't do that, man. Even though I already had done it all through high school. I did it the last 2 years of high school, my junior and senior year. Out the back of a truck, I was working for myself. They were working for, like, back then growing up, they, you know, we're talking when we were 15, 16 years old. Back in, I graduated from Deep Creek High School in Chesapeake, Virginia in 2004. What's awesome about that is my father and mother had the same principal, Mr. Hardy, which is, he's passed away now. There's a whole story behind that, but I'm not going to get into it. Out of respect for them and their family, I love Mr. Hardy, and he still remembered my mom and dad. And they went to the old Deep Creek Middle School, used to be the high school. And of course, so they went to that, and then they rebuilt the middle school, and then they built a new high school. So I went to the new Deep Creek High School, which at that time was still older, but same principal, same staffing. Pretty cool story there. And but I got out of school in 2004, so while all my friends were working back in 2004 at Taco Bell, you know, the local Taco Bells, the McDonald's, all the fast food places type deal, And beware of that place I just said too. Their emblem has 666 right in it, guys. Sure does. Yep, sure does. That little funk. You know that. Remember a while, like years back, they came out with that, and when they went around when all the fast food joints were going around updating all their stores at the same time to compete with one another. You know what I mean? You had all of them doing. I don't want to say all their names and give them people advertisement. I already messed up by saying the one. I don't want to give them people advertisement. That's why I exposed them since I did that. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but yeah, their symbol, that new little bell emblem, that's where the sixes are in their bells. That little where, you know what I mean, that place, it has the bell, and it's got if you look at it, it's got a funky 6, right? Well, then you're gonna say, well, Brandon Joshua, that's only one, man. It's only 1 6. Okay, you're right, it is. But guess what? There's four corners to their buildings, right? They have an entrance where there's a bell where you walk in. There's a 6 at the entrance. There's a 6 on the right side of the building, and there's a 6 on the left side of the building. There's your beast number right there, 666, okay? In the back of the building, there's nothing back there, but what's back there, guys? Mostly at a place like that. Usually where the dumpsters are, usually they'll have it gated off to where you can't see back there or go back there, staff only, and they're back of the buildings of these places generally don't have their logos or none of that back there, and they don't. So there's your 3 6s, okay? And that's just how it is. It's in your face, guys. The way they work, it's in code. It's truth in plain sight. As I just told you, there's 3 6s. I know that place is ran by Satanists. It's owned by Satanists. Therefore, I will not go there, because I will not go there because I don't want to give those people my money. Now, I understand everybody working there, they don't know that probably, and but I know that. Therefore, I choose not to go there. And if I ever were to meet somebody on the street, I'd let them know, hey, yeah, the place you work at's got 3 6s on it. You might want to think about where you're working. And that's just sad how it is, because then you got people that find these things out, and then they got to think about stuff. Oh, and now the Spirit just reminded me, because like I said, this is why I came out here, guys, so I could be in the presence of God every day and serenity. I was praying for so many years for God to grant me serenity, and sadly, I had it before me. Like, my mom has been with Ed for 10 years, and I could have come out to this location anytime, and I never did, because the devil had me blinded, see? And once I recommitted my life, I realized, I remembered, like, God reminded me the importance of our earth and our land, and how we all need to connect back to nature. And our Mother Earth is calling us, guys. Mankind was given full domain over Earth He gave us, Yahweh, our Creator, gave us abundance of resources so that none of us would ever go without. We had plenty of natural resources, guys. We have everything we needed. I'm gonna try to zoom this in back here, see if we can get some more of the river as I'm talking. But yeah, you have abundance of resources, guys, and we were supposed to share. Do you want to know what I'm doing when you see me do that? I know it's probably gross to people, but we're an outdoorsman. True outdoorsman, men and women. You know what I'm doing. I'm holding a camera in my left hand, okay? I was getting situated here. How can I itch my hand right here? Like, it's just barely itching, but how can I itch it if I'm holding this big tablet in my hand, right? A book. And then I can't itch the backside of my own hand with this hand. You see what I'm saying? I can't itch my hand with my hand. Oh my goodness. So we're in a predicament. So do you just go, you itch it with your teeth, man. You do realize that's what the machine's trying to do. I did that goofiness for you guys because there's a message behind it. Remember, I'm called to be like a youth leader, guys. Work with high school and college ages, and so that's why I'm naturally gifted with all these different voices and comical. But also, I have a little thing for like middle school, kindergarten. I might be doing a thing here in the future for like putting something together for preschoolers and kindergarten ages, just with my voices, to be a funny dude and do biblical characters in different voices and try to put together something. Maybe do some animation type things, put together some little biblical characters and design them even. And I can't really draw too well, but that's one thing I wish I could do. I wish I could sit out here right here and just draw everything I see. Maybe I should start praying to God. He says if you ask, he'll let you, he'll grant you, he'll give you what you ask as long as it's in his will. But he probably would, I don't know, maybe he would let me do that, but and my gifts are what you see. Like I have all these other gifts. I'll just be hogging that one. I'd be asking for another. I already have too many as it is, and I'm not bragging. He's already blessed me with so many. Honestly, that's probably why I can't draw, because I just thought, when would I have time to sit out here and draw? Like right now I'm talking, and my gifts are talking and telling people what's going on and seeing, and then seeing, coding, decoding what's going on in the world. I watch it, and then I'm going to start telling y'all everything going on in the world. I'm going to go down the list, and I'm going to start, exposing like all the fake pastors, because the year of 2020 is the year of vision. That's why everything, all this stuff, all the veils are dropping, guys. All the evil is being exposed in the world. And people think it's a bad thing. It is a bad thing. The economy's shut down and everybody's losing their jobs. It is awful. It's bad. But understand, those rich, evil men and women behind the TV screen, you know what I'm talking about, the ones behind your TV screen. That's what I'm going to call them, just to leave certain names out, because the AI algorithm listens to everything we say. And you know what's sad? A guy like me that's had this channel for 8 years, since November 1st, 2012. I used to never post videos up here as a content creator. I only posted, for all you people that read body language, understand I learned mentalism from Darren Brown, the demon guy, the gay demon guy. I found out all about him, but I learned mentalism from Darren Brown. I know how to read body language. I studied like how detectives body language. I know how to read body language. I know mentalism, and I studied psychiatry. And I was like, why do you want me to study this, God? I don't want to be that. And he was telling me how I need to understand how the human brain thinks and operates. So we have how we have a 3-part brain. Most people don't even know how we have a 3-part brain. The bottom half of our brain down here connected to your spinal cord, and all the lower half is your reptilian brain. I'm getting to something with this. I know I just completely stopped talking about the other thing, because I don't want people in my videos. I'm just putting it all out early, so I'm laying my foundation early so y'all know who I am. The ones already here, y'all probably getting tired of me saying the same kind of things, but I just have to do it early on just to keep establishing myself. After I've had the channel 8 years, but I've only started recording videos. I made a couple right after Christmas, 2 or 3, about that church incident, and then, which I've grown a lot even since then. I would be talking completely different. But I'm out of all that negativity, guys. I was still in the serpent's pit. I was in the beast of the belly at that time. So even then, you could see a lot of the frustrations coming out of me then, to where God was still pushing that out of me, cleaning me up, because I had recommitted. But that you could see, that's a living witness right there, and I'm leaving all that so you can see my progression as I continue to grow, because I've done this all before. But just because you've done something before doesn't mean you can do it all again, or you're gonna do it all over the same way. No, you just remember what you've done. You like riding motorcycles, racing. I will never forget how to ride. I could hop on a bike right now and ride. I would be rusty, as we call it. My skills would be off. I wouldn't be able to go out there and ride like I used to. I would still be able to ride and be able to keep up, just not with racing. I'm just saying I could hop on a street bike right now and ride, no problem. Street bike, like a crotch rocket, Harley, I could hop on a dirt bike, ride, no problem, full anything. I can do any of that. But you're just never going to be your elite level unless you work at it all the time. Unless you're you know what I'm saying? So I will never forget how to ride. I can always ride. You just get rusty. Just like how you're with your Bible. That's why I stay in the Word now. Because if you don't stay in the Word, guys, you're going to start to lose it. You'll never fully lose it. But when you stay in the Word, the Word is a living Word. I literally read, when I read the book of Luke, I can read that book all the way through, and then I can read it again and see completely different things popping out at me. The way the Lord does it for me, Christ that dwells within me, Yahushua HaMashiach, Christ Jesus, the way he does it is, it's like 3D. And I've heard other people say this, which is pretty cool, because we're all learning together as living entities in this world. We're all observing this world for what it is, because I think like that, you know what I mean? I have to pull myself out of it to see things. You know what I mean? It sounds confusing probably, but I hear people saying all the time how words jump out at them 3D. And it's how it is with us. Like when I go through and read different scripture that I know God wants me to speak on, I read through it and it just reads normal, stays flat on the page like you would see when you're reading a book or you're reading something on paper. The words are on the paper, you read it, right? Well, that's how it is when I'm just reading through the Bible and it's normal. But then when I know the Holy Spirit's like here with me, or Christ within me, my inner spirit, the two of us, Christ within me, it allows me to do what I can do for real. Because when I wasn't living right, I couldn't do this. And now that I rededicated my life and my King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Yahushua HaMashiach, has enlightened me, and I have a direct connection to Yahweh, my Creator, which then the Creator, okay, understand the Creator, the reason He's the Creator, He made all of this. Yahweh, Kingdom of Yahweh, He's outside of the earth, okay? It don't matter if you want to say the earth's round or flat, okay? We have a flat plane. If it's round on the outside, I just know we have a flat plane and there's a firmament above us and there's the great deep under us, okay? So I know we have water. The great deep, it says in our Bible, my favorite book is Enoch, but even Genesis, but we have the great deep under us, okay? Water under us, it says. And then we have then we have all the lands, and now we know we have like caves and stuff. Like I've been to Luray Caverns in Virginia. You have really deep caves, so we know we have layers of soil, but also caves, to where some of it is hollow, some of it isn't. That's where they try to say, well, we have hollow earth. Well, we clearly have caves. Some of it is hollow, some of it isn't, just by our own perspective, looking at it, by our own observing it in perspectives, we can see this. Now, a lot of those tunnels are man-made by ancient civilizations, and that's what they're trying to figure out right now. Why did they make those tunnels and they go into tunnel hiding and live underground? Was it a different species, or did they do that for a reason? Every so many years, I have a feeling we have some big storms coming, guys. I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm just saying my spirit, I just feel like there's some big storms coming, as far as literally like weather storms, whether they're made by man, created by man, like machines like HARP, technology like that, or worse now, or they're also caused by our consciousness. All of us, the world itself is paused, and good and evil is fighting off right now, guys. Evil has shown all its cards. But God, everybody thinks this is bad, but God has literally exposed all the serpents of the world right now. And the only ones they know who truly are the ones like us, or the ones like me that have been called from the darkness to speak. Because I know, I'm Brandon Joshua, guys. God told me, my mom, to name me my names, and my name literally means Brandon in Hebrew. Translation is God's chosen one, and then it's the Brandon continues with fiery flame and sword, and then Joshua's salvation. That's why if I have like say Brandon Joshua Ministries, and then underneath I would do fiery flame and sword salvation ministries, and then I would have the T's, the T in salvation and the two T's in the ministries from the Brandon Joshua Ministries. I would take that T, and then underneath it would say fiery flame and sword salvation ministries, and I'd take the two T's from the two salvation and ministries right there side by side, and then the T above them, right? The T is directly above them for the Brandon Joshua Ministries, and I would have the logo. I'm gonna write it up. I was doing it earlier, try to draw something up, and then have the logo set up so where you would have the three crosses, with the one in the middle would be slightly raised too. So you would have your three crosses, and it would look really cool. Mixed in those right there, literally Brandon Joshua, but with my Hebrew translation, which is my real name that God told my mom to name me. So then it would be fiery Brandon Joshua Ministries with the T up top, and then have it designed to where you would have Brandon Joshua Ministries with the T extended into a cross, and then have underneath fiery flaming sword salvation ministries, and have those two T's right here extended, but have it written out and designed to where the T's, you see what I'm getting now? You see it? How the one T in the middle would be, a cross would be higher up, and you would have it. It'd be the three crosses where it represents the two thieves and then and then Christ. I just think that would be really cool to put in a logo. And my brother, my youngest brother, that he used to work for my company that I had, and then when a couple years before I was like thinking about getting out of it, he kind of knew too, and he was like, all right. And I told him, I was like, yeah, man, go ahead and go. So he ended up getting a job. The guys that wrap my van, and I used to have custom wraps on my stuff, like the whole thing was wrapped, like these $2,500 wraps that you could do to your vehicles. Now they're like $4,000, $5,000. They're doing stuff that's like 10 grand, 12 grand, like huge things. Man, and it just goes up. It's, you know, it's all different prices, but it's really expensive now. And but yeah, he works for a shop, so I can get something made, and I'm gonna actually talk to him about it because I want to get some stuff made, even if that's not what I go with. But I know God wants me to go ahead, and I've always done my own thing. And I know instead of starting a business, see, I was like, well, God says, do you start a business again and go that route, Satan route? You're going to fail. And I'm not, if you mess up or you put yourself at risk, you're done. You're not protected anymore. They're going to get you, and you're going to probably die and go to hell. Or at this time, you know what you are. You're an angelic 1% ruled bloodline being. You've went through all these things. I've conquered death probably 4 or 5 times. I would have to sit down and really think, like, because the true nights, I know that one time for sure, but there was 2 times I know. Like one time I did it like that, and there was one other time where there was one time like that for sure that I knew I should be dead, and then there was another time where I just had done so much stuff I should have died. And then there was like probably 3 other times where I was just doing so much stupidness and working in the heat, 2 full-time jobs in 100-degree weather, literally working outside, and all day long in the winter and in the summer, working from 6 o'clock in the morning, waking up by 6 or 6:30, being at the first job by 7. That's when towards the end, and then I worked for this local billionaire guy again. And at the end, he looked out for me towards the end and let me come work for him. And I worked there for him and another man I know. That's a real good friend of mine. And we went there, and I worked there for a year, and just off and on throughout there. Not the whole time I was there, but just here and there I would do dumb stuff with sniffing that mess here and there. And not out there. Not ever out there like with them, but when I would get home and stuff, or like before I would leave in the morning, and then I would do it like a little bit at lunchtime, and then when I would get home. Not ever a lot to make me it just keeps you awake, man. I was working myself to death. That's what I'm saying. You sniff some cocaine and it keeps you awake. As I'm saying, you'd be surprised how many doctors do that stuff, surgeons. And I didn't want to do it. Every time I did it, I hated myself, and I just knew it was bad, and I knew I was hurting myself, and I didn't want to do it, guys. That's how bad it gets. And then but I won't. I'm gonna make another video talking about that, because I can go on for an hour with just that, and we're almost 30 minutes in. So I just wanted to show you guys the lake and show you what I'm waking up to in the mornings right now. And Ed said I could be out here. He's blessing me with letting me stay in the mini house. I'm not like moved out to this location. For a true man of God like me, my calling, I don't have a permanent residence. Because if God calls me right now and says, Josh, I need you in Israel, I go to Israel tomorrow. I make the plans and try to figure out the fastest way I can get to Israel. If he says I need you in Peru, I need you in Australia, I need you in North Carolina, I need you in California by Friday, or whatever. You get what I'm saying? That's how we operate, guys. That's it. It is like that. Like I said, I have no, and you know why I can do that? Because I don't have anything binding me here. I literally got all the bad that I went through in life. That's why I want to make a video. I might make another one. It sucks my phone's in the river. Well, it's in there. I have the phone. It was in my pocket. It didn't my phone is in my pocket still, but it's broke. The new one's going to be here either today, or because the Memorial Day is Monday, it might mess that up, and I might have to wait until Tuesday. But we'll see if God blesses me and it shows up today. But if not, then there's a reason he wants me to study more, and I'll do that. And I can record videos on my laptop out here. I just can't upload them right here in the woods area. I can record them like up there further up by the mini house and the stage and all. I can record them, but I'll just have to wait and go back to missionary location number 1. I'm just gonna call them that for now, because I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be saying the addresses like every time or something crazy. But like, yeah, I'll go back to the other location in Chesapeake and I'll upload them. And the good thing is they upload like pretty quick, like instantly or within like 2 to 5 minutes. They always upload. But I'm out to go out on the canoe, guys, and I would take y'all with me. But I do not want the. If this went in the water after what happened yesterday, I would be like, man, I don't want that embarrassment. I would be in trouble. I couldn't do that to my mom and like Ed. If this thing, I have a feeling either she bought this with her hard-earned money, or Ed bought this for her as a gift, like for her birthday, or her birthday's not set until September 7th, so it would have been last year, or it might have been Christmas or something. Like, this is newer, dude. Like, if it's not newer, she takes very good care of it. So I'm not taking this out there. And even because think about it, I fell in the river yesterday, and now only reason that happened is because we tried to be nice and pick up this really beautiful Russian woman. Like, she's probably my age, and really nice, really sweet girl, real beautiful inside and out. That's what I mean. She was just a really genuine person. They were walking the park, and her mother spoke very little English. Her daughter, like I said, she looked more my age. I don't know if she was. She looked it. Either way, she was a beautiful woman. So it don't matter if she was at least close to, like, it don't matter if she was 20. She was an adult, put it that way. But it don't matter if she was 20 or she was 40, because I couldn't really tell, honestly. I think she was more my age. But she was really nice, sweet. Her mother, like I said, and what got me is I could tell their accents. I was like, I caught it right away, because her mom couldn't speak English and they were translating it. Like, she was translating when I said, like, hello, do y'all want to get in a canoe? And they're like, yeah, yeah. And their mom, I could tell the accents. And I said, are y'all Russian? And they're like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, man, let's go. Because I know Russian. As soon as they said that, I joked with them. I said, oh, yeah. Because I honestly thought when I seen this beautiful girl and her mother, I was like, I bet you I was just being nice, because I'm like that with anybody. I don't care who it was. It could have been two dudes. And I'm like, hey, yo, bros, y'all want to jump in? Never, you know what I mean? But I seen them, and I was like, they are like, yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, man, I didn't think they were going to say yeah, you know? So I went over there, and then we ended up all going for a swim. It was funny. And they were actually laughing too. Like, none of us apologized for it. None of us. They didn't tell me sorry. I didn't tell them sorry. Her mother was in the front. She went for a swim with me. The younger daughter, more my age, she was in the back, and she actually, like, I don't know if she jumped out. I went under the water, guys. I went for a swim. Like, I was under the water, feeling like lily pads, swamp. I'm glad I didn't get tangled up in no stuff down there and drown or something crazy. Like I said, God keeps me safe, because I did fall out in an area that I couldn't touch. I thought I could touch the ground right there. That's why I went up right there. That's over there by the river, though. I didn't realize that was that deep. And there's water moccasins and all kind of stuff. There's copperheads that were like 20 feet away from where we were. And I fell out right there, dude. Like right where there's like a nest of copperheads, like from here to that like grill. Okay. Yeah. And I fell out under the water in like lily pads and all kind of gunk. And like, it was water though too, but like where it was, and then man, all I felt was them through my hands. I was like, I hope I don't hit a turtle or anything in here. And then I tried to stand up, and I couldn't stand up on the bottom. I thought I could touch right there, and I was like, oh goodness. But when I hit the water, guys, it kind of sucked because it took my breath away. That water is actually colder than I thought still. And it knocked it, when you hit water that's cold, it's equivalent to getting the wind knocked out you, like I did. See, thank goodness I'm trained in that. Like I could have panicked and like drowned, literally, for real. So when I hit the water, when I went under the water, right, and that canoe fell on like top of me, and I was under the water, and I had to push that canoe off me. When I hit the water, my body went into shock. Like for a split second, I couldn't breathe. I literally went like under the water, and I knew what happened. See, a normal person would like panic when they would feel that. Their body instantly tries to breathe, because when you get the wind, if you fall down real hard, like when we race, if you hit the ground hard, you knock the wind out yourself. You're like, you hear somebody doing that, they can't breathe, right? The way your lungs are, you know what I mean? You can't breathe. You get the wind knocked out you. Everything's constricted. Well, when you hit cold water and you're not expecting it like that, like I didn't expect me to go dunk. I thought I was going to be able to save it, and I didn't. So next thing you know, I went from trying to save it to being completely submerged with a canoe on me instantly. And in that gunk, right, feeling all that around my arms, and I'm just through it. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to let none of that bind me down there and drown me. They ain't killing me. So as soon as I hit, I'm pulling all that, and I got that canoe off me. But when I couldn't breathe under the water. So when my first thing, I just got up, and then once I got out, the girl on the land, she grabbed my bag for me. That's why my Bible was saved. That girl, I'm proud of her. She ran and like got wet, got her whole from her feet and everything. Her mom was wet from like the waist down. She actually like was able to jump back up on the canoe. So I don't know what happened. Somehow her mom like got half wet, and she didn't swim all the way, but I did. And the other girl, she got wet some, but she saved my bag for me. And then when I was over there, I was just there like, you okay? And the other one couldn't even speak English. Her mother couldn't even speak English. She's back there in Russian. I'm saying I can't talk. She's back there saying stuff in Russia, laughing though. So I knew it was good. I knew like the Russian mama wasn't about to kill me. So she was better laughing, and but then the girl saved my bag for me, saved my staff, and then she actually, while I was over like trying to catch my breath, because I won't doing that because I was being cool with it. You just know to put your hands on your head to open your lungs up more, like both your hands on your head, and it opens you up more, and you just calm your mind instantly. Like I'm trained in this, so I understood what happened. If you don't understand what's going on, this is what what you would do is obviously don't breathe in water, you're gonna die. So make sure you hold your breath, get to the top as quick as you can. You know what I mean? Don't even worry about getting that canoe off you if you don't have to. Like me, I push it off me because I know what's up. But all you gotta do is get out from under it and your head up out of that water as fast as you can. You know what I'm saying? You worry about flipping that canoe back up right later. Or if it sinks, let it sink. You get it out later or let it go. You get your head above that water as fast as you can. Especially when when I hit that water, my whole chest constricted and I couldn't breathe. So on top of knowing you have to hold your breath, now I knew I couldn't breathe, and I didn't expect it to happen. So and I was in the middle of talking, so I didn't even have full air. And as soon as that happened, I actually had a friend that died, a big bodybuilder dude. He used to train martial arts for UFC fighters. He was a trainer in my Earth Father's neighborhood, and he was a real nice guy. He went whitewater rafting and passed away with his brothers because of the same thing in that kind of water, but during the winter and rapid water. And now I never understood how a big strong guy trained like that could have happened, how that happened, because they did pull him out. By the time they got him out from under the raft, he had turned blue, and they couldn't get him back. It was sad, and I never fully understood because I used to do a lot of work for him. He owned a bunch of real estate, and I did a lot of properties for him too. We did business together, and it's just sad. And now I understand. Like yesterday, that popped in my mind, and this happened like many years ago, man. I don't even know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. A while, probably 10 years ago now. 10 years ago, maybe, probably 10. I don't know. It's been a while. Probably 10 years, but I just remembered, like, man, that's what he experienced, but on a way worse level. And it was, it could be scary, but yeah, anyway, I just held my hands up, breathed slowly through my nose, got my breath back, and gave them a thumbs up. I was okay. And then once I could breathe again, it took me a couple minutes for my my chest to like fully it wasn't like, it took me like 10 minutes for it to fully like not be retracted, or not. It took me a couple minutes for it to loosen up, so it wasn't I'm trying to say this word. I can't think of this word. So it wasn't contracted. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. But anyway, got my hair going crazy again, man. I'm the #1 grandson. That Graham, our matriarch that passed away in 2016, my mom's mom. And my mom has a sister too now. Her oldest daughter is the #1 granddaughter. Because we're both their firstborns. That's why. It's not because we're the best. Okay? It's just because we're the firstborns. And so she's the one supposed to be coming to do my hair. And I lost I had 2 more rubber bands on here and they broke. Oh, wait a minute. I had another one on here too, and that one's gone now. Man, this is what happens when you lay down with hair like this. Usually I try to put it up, like on the pillow. Because I don't like it like being all frayed like that. I tried to trim it a little bit yesterday, just tiny bits. So I'm not going to let it get too long, guys. I'm not going to let it get crazy. I'm going to keep it. It's about like right here when they're fully down. It's about like right there. But I'm going to get off this, and I might upload it another time. We'll see what's up. Brandon, Joshua, blessings, me and the staff out here on the river, guys.